Since Kubernetes is getting wide acceptance, Kubernetes certification is one of the most trending certifications in the IT circle now. Yes, both Certified Kubernetes Administrator or CKA and Certified Kubernetes Application Developer or CKAD. I have completed both recently, somewhere in March, April this year, and I started getting a lot of queries and doubts regarding the certification and other preparation details. I am more than happy to answer those, but sometimes it's not practical to answer everyone with details, and I was not able to respond properly on LinkedIn or WhatsApp. So I thought to publish an article in my blog and do this video with each and every details I have. Better or what? My name is Gineesh and welcome to techbeatly. Please remember to subscribe this YouTube channel if you think our videos are useful, and enable notifications to get the latest videos on latest DevOps topics. So the details and tips are from my experience and hope it will be useful for your exam preparation. Hold on, I need to make it clear. Don't ask me for sample questions or exam dumps. Sorry, I don't have any. This is purely a practical exam and do not expect any multiple choice questions. Also, you need to accept a certification and confidentiality agreement before you attend the exam. It's kind of a non-disclosure agreement. By the way, I have added some details about question types and some useful links in my blog post. You can find my blog post links from the description given below. So here see the tips for exam and preparations. First of all, this is a simple exam and questions are straightforward. No gimmicks, no complex scenarios. Yep. And tips are tips. Still, you need to do your part by practicing and understanding all required Kubernetes tasks and definitions and all those theories. Tip number 1: practice, practice, and practice. You know that I am not joking. Focus on the course and do all practice labs during the course itself. Do not wait until the end. Do the practice labs and mock exams multiple times, again and again, until you feel that you can solve the questions without any help. More practice will give you more confidence. You know that, I don't need to explain. And Code Cloud has one of the best lab arrangement I have ever seen, and you can access those if you are using the course in Udemy or Code Cloud learning portal. Tip number 2: be familiar with Kubernetes documentation portal. As you know, these are open book exams, means you can access Kubernetes documentation during the exam for reference. Yes, one browser tab for exam and another tab for kubernetes.io/docs. I can see that smile on your face now. Hold on, not yet. It's good and bad. You can refer to the documentation portal if you have any doubts or if you need to refer some complex commands or object definitions. Yeah, that's good. But you will have a tendency to refer the documentation for each and every questions, even though you know the answer well. Then what? You will spend more time on documentation portal rather than the exam window. So don't fall in that trap. Okay. Learn Kubernetes and understand it. Don't try to memorize it. Okay. So make sure you are comfortable with kubernetes.io/docs portal, not just for searching help but to understand the things well. You are also allowed to bookmark documentation pages you need in your own browser and use it during exam. You may download my sample bookmark for reference, which I have mentioned in the article, but do not use bookmarks set by others anyway. Create your own, as only you know where you save the items. Please note, do not access any other websites during the exam, and only one extra tab other than exam tab. Okay. Tip number 3. Be a kubectl expert. Learn all possible options with kubectl command line interface. You can create most of the objects in an imperative way using kubectl command, and you can use these imperative kubectl commands for creating declarative definitions and keep as YAML files. Another add-on tip is to learn shortcodes and aliases for fast typing. For example, kubectl get PO instead of kubectl get ports, or CM instead of config maps, SVC instead of services. Yeah, you can save a lot of time. Also learn and understand the kubectl explain option, which will give you more details on each and every option about an object definition and command attributes. Tip number 4. Create objects with YAML files and reuse it. As I mentioned earlier, use kubectl imperative commands for creating object definitions. For example, you can use -o YAML with -- dry run for kubectl commands and redirect the output to a YAML file. Later, reuse the same for creating objects. This will save a lot of time when you want to delete and create objects during exam. Tip number 5. Manage your time and solve question wisely. The Certified Kubernetes Administrator or CKA exam is 3 hours, and you need to attend 24 questions. And the Certified Kubernetes Application Developer or CKAD exam is 2 hours with the 19 questions. Try to attend the easy questions first. Yes, some of the questions will be simple and straightforward. Attend those and mark it. If you feel the question is a bit tough, don't worry, just give it a try. If it's taking more than 5 minutes but you cannot solve the question, or you don't have any idea about what to do, okay, you must understand that it's not a time, or it's not a good time to spend your valuable minutes on that question. Mark that question and move on. There will be more and more easy questions which you can solve quickly. Once you finish all easy or non questions, it's time for checking those complex one, as you have buffer time to work on that. Another important advice is that attend all questions and don't skip any. Yeah, just try all those questions. You are allowed to use a notepad inside the exam environment, and this is only accessible during the exam. You can use this notepad to note down the questions, and if there are any issue to check later. You are not allowed to use any other notepads or application on your system. Please note on that. Tip number 6. Learn JSONPATH. Learn JSONPATH and be proficient to use it, because you may need to format your output using JSONPATH queries. Again, thanks to Mumshad and CodeCloud. There is a free course from CodeCloud and on YAML and JSONPATH by which you can easily understand the usages. Try all those free labs and make sure you are comfortable with JSONPATH. Tip number 7. Search for resources, not for exam times. Okay, we all do it again and again. We open a browser, search for Kubernetes exam terms or Kubernetes exam sample questions, open it, and every result coming on top, and read it. I'm telling you, do not waste your time by searching for Kubernetes questions or samples on the internet. Use that time, or use that valuable time, for practicing the available lab and reading Kubernetes documentation. It will help you a lot. Tip number 8. Read about exam environment. Yeah, this is very important. Refer to the candidate handbook and see the details about the exam setup. There are instructions on what are the allowed tools or what are the available text editors, how to copy paste, other short keys to be used, etc. For example, Ctrl plus insert or Shift plus insert combination can be used on Windows machines, or Command plus C to copy and Command plus V to paste on a Mac machine. Candidate handbook is available in PDF format from CNCF website. You may refer to the link in description below. Tip number 9. Try to do Kubernetes the hard way. Okay, this is not a mandatory task, but it would be great if you can do this at least once, and not really needed for developer exam. By doing this, you will learn what are the components inside and how all those components are talking to each other. You may try the one based on GCP by Kelsey Hightower, or the alternate VirtualBox setup by Mumshad. Tip number 10. Set up your text editor for handling YAML files. This is something more important and helped me a lot during my exam. Since you need to play a lot with YAML and configuration files, use your text editor wisely. Vim editor will be there by default, and you can choose other allowed editors as you need, whichever available and you are comfortable with. You may refer exam handbook for allowed or allowed text editors in the exam environment. As we know, indentation and spacing are very important in YAML files, and even a extra space will break your configuration and put you in trouble during exam. You can easily adjust Vim editor by configuring features like tabs, tab stops, expand tabs, etc. And it will help you to handle YAML files in a better way. For example, just add these configurations in your vimrc file, like autocmd, file type, then YAML, then you can set local and use the tab stop, etc. I'm not going in detail, but see some of the options like TS or tab stop, then ET or expand tab, SW or shift wait, then STS soft tab stop, all those options. Also, you can enable the line number by NU. These are simple settings you can do within the first 5 minutes of exam before you start working on questions. I have published a video on configuring Vim editor for YAML files earlier, and you may refer the same for detailed explanations. Bonus tip. There is a fun game called Game of Words by CodeCloud, and if time allows, you can try some of the items. Okay, don't think I am asking you to play some games during your exam preparation. This is a simple game in which you need to solve issues by doing some actual Kubernetes labs. For example, creating Kubernetes objects like deployment, pods, secrets, or troubleshooting and fix issues on deployment, etc. It can help you to manage your timing, and you will learn to create objects without fear. That's all for the tips. Yeah, already 10. So prepare, practice, you will pass the exam. All the best. That's all for this video. Please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and enable notification to see the latest videos on latest DevOps topics. Thank you.